All right, today we've got this wonderfully strange story for you. It's about two towns, well, a very odd wise man, and a really powerful lesson on how we can deal with those little nagging things in life.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those small, just recurring problems that drives you slowly insane? Like a squeaky door you never fix, or a video that just won't stop buffering. That feeling? That's exactly where our story kicks off. Okay, so our story takes place in these two, otherwise totally charming towns. But each one is wrestling with its own really peculiar and just endless crisis. So first up, we've got Mismatched Sock Town. And I want you to just imagine this. For 30 years, you start every single day by putting on, say, a polka dot sock and a business stripe sock. Sounds kind of silly, right? But for them, it was the endless sock suffering. Then you've got their neighbors, Afro Village. Everyone there had what they called static grief. I mean, hair that just exploded into this angry cloud no matter what they did. Now, look, these aren't life or death situations, obviously, but they were this kind of low-grade, daily mental torture. But all that collective sighing and frustration didn't go unnoticed. Eventually, it attracted this wandering, and I mean really unique wise man, and he was about to change absolutely everything.
Okay, so when you picture a wise man, this is probably not what comes to mind. This wasn't some stoic, serious guy. This was Master Bubble. Picture a super cheerful guy, round, happy face. And get this, he wears a brightly colored robe that's covered in cartoon characters. Yeah, he was, let's be honest, kind of ridiculous.
So he gets there, he takes one look at all this sock and hair misery, sits down right in front of this giant laundry basket, and just makes this huge, almost absurd proclamation. He stands up and declares that he, Master Bubble, is going to personally take on all of their suffering. All of it. Who cares how wild or mismatched it is, he's taking it on.
So you're probably thinking, okay, what's his plan? Did he snap his fingers and make all the socks match? Whip up some kind of miracle hair gel? Nope, not even close. His method was, well, it was a lot stranger and way, way sillier.
And this is where we get to the core idea of the whole story. It's called vow power. Now, this isn't magic. It's not a superpower or some kind of spell. It's more like a massive, unconditional, and honestly kind of goofy, I got this spirit. You could even call it an attitude of just radical acceptance. Master Bubble had this brilliant way of explaining it. He used a metaphor. He told them, look, picture each of your little problems, the socks, the hair, as a tiny little boat, a suffering boat. My mission, he said, is to create a sea of vows so huge, so vast, that it can just carry all of your little boats for you. So how did he actually do this? Well, his methods were, let's just say they were specific. For the folks in Mismatched Sock Town, he started wearing all their single socks, all of them, at the same time. We're talking 8 layers deep on each foot. And for Afro Village, he wore a giant seaweed rice ball and onigiri on his head every single day. Why? He claimed it would absorb their static grief. I mean, it was completely and utterly absurd. And at first, you can imagine everyone thought he was just nuts, totally bonkers. But then, as they watched him waddle around day after day, something really strange and kind of wonderful started to happen. It was like this comical liberation just swept through both towns. Which, of course, leads to the big question, right? Did it actually work? I mean, did the socks suddenly start matching up in the laundry? Did everyone's hair just magically calm down?
Nope, absolutely not. The external problems, they didn't change one bit. The socks were still a total mess, and the hair was just as wild as ever.
But here's the thing. What did change was how the townspeople saw it all. Their suffering, what once felt so unbearable, it suddenly turned into something they could actually laugh about. The problem itself didn't go away, but their relationship to the problem completely flipped. Think about it. People would see Master Bubble just waddling around, 16 layers of crazy socks, a giant rice ball on his head, smiling from ear to ear, and they couldn't help but think to themselves, you know what, my one mismatched sock really isn't that big of a deal. Or they'd look in the mirror and go, okay, my bad hair day has nothing on that magnificent onigiri head. And this little shift in perspective, it snowballed. It led to a complete cultural transformation. A year later, you wouldn't even recognize these towns.
So Mismatched Socktown actually renamed itself Colorful Socktown. Wearing mismatched socks became a cool fashion statement. And Afro Village, they started holding an annual onigiri hairstyle contest to celebrate the craziest, most creative hairdos. See what happened? They didn't get rid of their problems, they embraced them. They turned them into a source of fun, of joy, of identity.
So, with his work pretty much done, Master Bubble got ready to leave. But he wasn't going to just disappear without leaving behind one last, really powerful message for the towns he had changed forever. And he didn't make a big deal out of it. No big goodbye speech. He just slipped away quietly one day. All he left was a simple note tacked to the door of the old laundry he'd been using as his home base.
And the note said this: "My sea has carried you for a while. Now your boats are filled with laughter balloons and can sail on their own. Remember to buy more colorful socks to make the sea more beautiful. Signed, Bubble." I mean, what a fantastic image, right? Turning these heavy little problems into something light and buoyant. Laughter balloons. And that really is the heart of the whole thing. The big takeaway is that sometimes the most powerful move you can make isn't to solve the problem at all. It's to change its weight. It's about transforming what feels like this heavy, serious burden into a lighthearted adventure. So I'll just leave you with this one question to chew on. When you think about your own recurring, annoying little problems, your own personal mismatched socks or static grief, what could be your laughter balloon?